How's it going, YouTube? When life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. I'm coming back from Michigan today. What day is it? It's Wednesday. It has stormed all day. I just drove 6 hours to come back to Chicago, but I'm getting back in at rush hour 1, and I don't want to drive through all the traffic. It's gonna take 2 hours, what would normally drive a half an hour. That wasn't even proper English. But what also happened today, a lot of rain in the Chicago suburbs, and that leads me to this pond right here. Now, in my experience, the more pressured the pond is, the more true the statement is, but the best time to fish a pond is right after a storm, and the reason for that is the rainfall. It rained a ton here today, and what that did is brought the water up a good foot, and what that does is it floods the shallows, all the new nutrients get in the water, the bait fish come, and then the bass follow. I filmed a video here. It's one of my first videos on YouTube, actually, way back when, last August, 10, 11 months ago, I don't know, but that's when I first started this YouTube channel. I went here after a flood and just knocked their lights out, caught one of the biggest pond bass I've ever caught in my life, just a bunch of fish. By far my best pond video. If you haven't watched that, I'm gonna link it here, but best time that I've ever found to fish a pond by far, outside of like the spawn, stuff like that, that's kind of cheating. The best time to fish a pond is after a flood. So I'm gonna go test that right now and see if my theory still holds true. It doesn't look like the water rose too much, maybe just half a foot, but I think it's gonna be enough to get these really pressured bass to bite. Now, all I'm gonna be fishing today is this little Texas rig. It's actually a 3/4 ounce head. I have that on from my punching video. I'm just gonna keep it on there. Big craw, these fish are gonna be hungry, pushed up, feeding. Now, this culvert right behind me, something very special happened in the video that I linked in the beginning of this video. I'm gonna see if there's another big bass waiting in this culvert with the running water here. Nothing. Now, it looks like this area of the suburbs really did not get all that much rain, because I don't think this pond is all that high. If this pond isn't that high, then I might move over to a different pond in another area of the suburbs that I know got a ton of rain, so I can just better illustrate the idea that these bass go nuts in ponds when the water really rises. The water in here looks like it only rose a couple inches. It gets good when the watercolor gets dirtier, it pushes up in the bushes, all that good stuff. Doesn't look so right now. If there's fish feeding heavily in this pond, which if it rained a lot, there should be, but I don't think it rained a lot. There's a drain right there that's an outflow. Water flows out of it. If the drain's completely underwater, then definitely got rain, the water flowing good, and there should be feeding bass right there. If not, then I'm gonna have to go to a new pond. Moment of truth. Nothing. I snagged fishing line too. Okay. The water here is not up. I miscalculated which areas of the suburbs got a lot of rain. In the video, I keep referencing the video because that's when there was magic happening in this pond, and that's what I expected to be here, but the water's not up. But if the water's up, that culvert's completely underwater. So yeah, this pond really didn't get any rain. But that culvert's usually completely underwater. There's a lot of current funneling in right here, and the bass sit like that and face outward and wait for shad and bluegill to blow to them. I've watched bass feed here in the current before, because a lot of times, like I said, the pond's really pressured. They can be finicky. Inflow and outflow drains are the best spots when it floods like this, because it's just current points for the bass. It's like a conveyor belt so they can feed. But this pond is doo-doo with all the fishing pressure and the fact that it didn't flood. So I'm gonna go to another area of the suburbs to try to accentuate my point further, in that the best time to fish a pond is when it floods. It didn't flood here, so this pond is... All right, guys, we just got to the third and final spot that we're gonna fish, because I'm not driving all over Chicago just to film this pond video, but I'm dedicated, I'm determined. We got changing conditions now. Now it's very sunny. There's a lot of standing water around, so I think this area got a lot of rain, but I'm gonna do 2 firsts for pond fishing, and I don't think they're good firsts. One, this pond has a lot of weeds, and I'm sure because of the rain they're soaked. So I'm putting on rain gear to walk around in the weeds. No shame. Much shame in not having the right footwear, but what's new there? I'm also probably the only person that pond fishes with this. I don't know anyone that pond fishes with a boat on their trailer, but we're sending it. I look like a special kind of stupid right now in this outfit, but no shame. That's good. That's a good sign. Standing water. I'm hoping these fish are going to be pushed up on the bank. This is a very scummy pond. I brought only this frog. I'm hoping I can crack back into a few big heads up on the bank and just further accentuate my point that this is the best time to fish a pond. I did film one video here. I think it was yeah, it was everything you need to know about bank fishing with a frog. I filmed here and I did terrible. So let's see if I do any better this time now that the water's up high. Oh, missed one. Come on, buddy. He was pushed way up on the bank. He brutally missed. Well, I got my first sign of life, but he was a good 2 feet behind that frog. Oh, there we go. There's a good one. Good one. There's a big one. Woohoo! That had to be the fish that just missed it. Yes! Redemption. 3rd pond. That is usually dry. Look at that. There was another bass. See that on the walkway? Look at he's trying to get out. Oh, this is gonna be super, super fire. Fire ponds. Not a huge one. Good 2.5, 3 pounder. See ya, Sally. Nope, that way. There you go. Now that was a bullfrog. Whew, that makes me feel so good. Finally, 3rd time's a charm on these ponds. The first 2 screwed me, but this one is gonna be juicy. See this right here? This is a path around the pond and it's underwater. So this water's up a good 1.5, 2 foot. It's usually full of this scum, but the rain destroyed all the scum. That fish was pushed up in an area that's typically dry land, maybe an inch of water. So that was my point of this whole video. When this water floods, these fish move up on the bank and they get very aggressive. Oh, that was a big one. Oh, that was a big one. That was a big one. Oh my. Guys, you have no idea. They got my heart racing because you won't be able to see it in the video, but I could see its head come out of the water to eat the frog. These fish are fired up. It has been a long time since I've caught a big one at this pond. I thought maybe they had all died or something. Oh my gosh. That was her. That was Bertha. That kills me, but it tells me the big ones are biting, which I like. So maybe I can get a 5 or 6 pound large marge. Maybe it'll offset all the mosquitoes that are buzzing around me. Another plus of this rain jacket, they can't hit my skin. All right, that big one that hit my frog and missed me distracted me. I gotta move around the pond, just the perimeter very quickly, try to cover as much water as I can. All my biggest pond bass have came either the spawn, and that's cheating, or during a flood like this, and that was a certified toad. But it doesn't count because I didn't catch it. Coming in the culvert. No! That was a far-fetched cast anyway. He came off all in the culvert. Another prime example, when that water's high, they flood areas where they typically can't get in. The culvert's usually dry, and there was a bass in it. Looked like a pretty decent one too, like a 2 pounder. Not a giant, not what we're exactly searching for, but still would have liked to catch it. Super sweaty. This was probably one of my worst ideas ever. But we're still gonna send it. We're gonna try to finish out with one more spot on this pond. I don't care how sweaty I am. Gotta catch
large margin, not fall in the process. What was only gonna be an hour or two long excursion has turned into over 4. We got 5 minutes after sunset now, so I'm going back to the spot where I lost the one big one and hoping that I can get some more big ones at the sunset frog bite. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point. I'm probably a little lightheaded, a lot of dehydrated as I've lost so much sweat. Oh, I caught one, but this is not, I didn't catch one. Almost caught one. It wasn't the size I wanted either. That was like another 12-incher. I've had brutal luck tonight. That is like, I think I've caught 2 fish on the frog tonight, maybe more, but I've caught 2 fish and lost at least 7 or 8. Well guys, I wish I was standing here telling you that this was a great lesson to never give up, but I should have given up a little while ago. It was not happening for me tonight. I don't know why, but it was not. I went like 1 for 8 on frog blow-ups. That's not good. And I didn't effectively show what I wanted to portray through this video, in that when ponds get flooded, the bite can be really hot. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. That is nice. That is a nice tick. Well, on that note, that's indicative of my day. If you have 1 tick on your body, you probably have more. Probably got them all over my hair, but I digress. Thank you guys for watching, especially if you stuck through this far. Kind of failed at pond fishing today, but I hope I got the point across. If your pond floods, if your area floods, go hit those ponds. Go hit the drains especially. Those are going to be the key points where there's current, either water flowing in, water going out. Throw the frog, stay on the bank, throw a spinnerbait, throw something. Throw something I didn't actually, because I sucked.